This episode brought to you by my 15-year-old penis. The movie still exists, but it does not. Oh, I'll be 15 again. Boners and... Oh, God, where do the days go? One time, a showgirl laughed at my 15-year-old penis. If only the days were shorter. God.
Should have used lube. Hey everybody, we're watching Showgirls and you are listening to Miscast Commentary.
You're listening to Miscast Commentary, where two guys have seen way too many movies and have way too much time on their hands.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Now here's your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Miscast Commentary. I am Joe Finley.
I'm Todd Tebow, the Sailor Murray.
And we are bringing our adolescence to life today as we bring you Showgirls.
Possibly the greatest movie ever filmed.
Possibly. Took some...
Oh, wait a second. This is what I wanted to talk to you about before the movie starts.
Let's hear about it.
The game.
Which would, like, Triple H?
Either one of us.
Oh, yeah.
We cannot talk about their naked bodies. We cannot talk about boobies, bums, anything like that.
Okay. Can I talk about my own bum?
You can talk about... Okay, like, so like, you couldn't be like their titties,
yeah,
blah, blah, blah. You can be like their eyes or whatever, but you cannot talk anything sexual about the girls in the film.
I think that is more than fair. I think we're going to respect all women today, and I am on board. I'm just killing time as I look for the notes for this movie. I apologize. I don't really apologize. And I can't. There it is. Wow, I wrote the notes for this back in December.
Hell yeah.
Okay, motherfuckers.
It's like a Christmas tree. You know, Santa loved Showgirls. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's mostly about the elves. All right, guys.
I am going to pre-light a smoke because I'm going to need it.
Okay, gang. There's only one way to move forward for a movie like this, and that is to press play.
Now.
We did.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I remember seeing this movie. Okay, so what the fuck?
What?
What's happening?
What do you mean what's happening?
Okay, never mind. It's a little chunky.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
They should have mentioned the nudity first. Okay, I guess we should have been like, if everybody's watching it from the same thing, press play.
Yeah. Well, people have to deal. We're watching it on Amazon. If you don't have it on Amazon, you'll have a little bit of time.
Instead of the line, it should have been a little pussycat.
Meow. Oh, so far we're getting away scot-free. So the movie, I wanted to talk right off the bat. So this was written by Joe Esterhas, who has a history with these movies. He wrote Flashdance, which is not one of these, but he wrote Basic Instinct. He wrote Nowhere to Run. He wrote Sliver, and he wrote Jade.
Oh my God.
So he is eyes deep in these kind of movies. So
he's the man. Joe Esterhas is the guy that Mel Gibson is screaming at in that audio clip.
Is that true?
Yes, it's totally him, and he's it's like at one of his kids' birthday parties, and he's like, "Who wants some cake?"
Oh my God. That's
Like, where's my goddamn script for whatever?
That's amazing.
Who wants some cake?
Can we talk about the fringe on this bloody leather jacket right off the bat?
That's amazing.
And does she have short hair, or is it all tucked up in like a, who is this? This looks like if David Spade and Billy Ray Cyrus had a baby.
I was thinking it was like Ricky pre-Trailer Park. Oh, she's going to Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, and they don't like Garth Brooks.
No, that'd be fine. But yeah,
Is that what they just said?
Yeah, they did.
What the hell?
I know. You're going all the way. Uh-oh. Just so you know, you can't be...
she is a bad girl.
You can't be a raper. That's just right off the
bat. Was
he
just mentioning about rape or what?
No, I just think that he asked her a very simple question, and then she was like, by the way, in case you're thinking of anything, I have a knife.
And he definitely is. So she's right. She's hitchhiking. You got to get that vibe out right now.
Uh-huh.
I will cut you.
Yeah. So Elizabeth Berkley, obviously known best as Jessie Spano in Saved by the Bell, and in the new Saved by the Bell as well, where she plays like the guidance counselor or some shit like that. Because, you know.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. It's the way they did it. So she's the guidance counselor at the school. John Michael Higgins from like Best in Show and all that is the new principal. Slater is the gym teacher at the school, and Zach is the governor of California, and Kelly is his wife. So, and then basically what happens, he has to close a bunch of schools, and it ends up combining a lot of kids from like the poor school into the kids from
oh my God,
like into the rich kids school, which is Bayside.
Oh, yeah.
So then,
hence the metal detectors now.
That's exactly right. There were only 8 episodes and there were 10 school shootings.
Why did they almost crash? Like, what the hell happened there?
I don't know. It's vague. It's just the Vegas attitude, even though there was snow in the mountains.
She's got an uncle in the biz.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she thinks she's going to become, you know, like a great dancer and all that kind of stuff. And this movie.
How do you know that? She never said that to him.
No, I'm just going based on the fact that I've seen the movie before and I know what it's about.
All right.
Yeah, you know. But I love this trip. It's very fun going into Vegas. It looks so much different. Even here to when I went for the first time, it looks just so infinitely different. Like none of these places exist. I think they imploded all of them for Ocean's 11. You know that scene where they implode one of the hotels? I think that they didn't get the take right, so they had to implode several other hotels.
Well, there you go. See, I was going to be like, okay, so clearly she laid down that she ain't, you know, it's cash, grass, or ass.
Mm-hmm.
And she just gave him $10.
What if she just had like literal grass? Like just like a handful of like Kentucky bluegrass.
Ooh, I was literally, honest to God, going to be like, unless it's Kentucky blue, it doesn't count.
She is acting very weirdly already in this movie.
Acting her face off.
Her, like, literally, the faces she's making are like these, like, oh, you,
So here she is, shirt open, no bra.
Yeah, and now we're not talking about that. We're talking about her eyes. But she's got no bra for her eyes. But
no.
This is something I missed.
Bra. There's nothing wrong with that.
You're fair. What kind of I actually missed this about like a casino is the ability to like get coins. There's something like when you've got like a card in there and it's just going doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle. It's like you win and it's almost boring getting your jackpot.
I agree with you. I rarely go to the casino. Like sometimes my mom will go, I'll go with her because I like the scene. I like to wander around the falls and but yeah, I'll sit down at a machine, but I only like the machines that have the pull arm.
Yes.
Because now it's like to get rid of all the pull arms and just like you just press a button, click, 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 boom, your money's gone.
My only thought behind that is they were breaking a lot. I imagined that those arms, if people are like drunk and like yanking on them like monsters, that like they would be breaking all the time. And they were like, you know what, we're just going to go with buttons.
Oh my God, what is happening here? She was like, I'm just leaning up against your car. I lost everything. I only had $10 more.
Now she's puking, and the girl from like another world is mad at her.
Why? Because you got punched in the gut?
I don't know. This is probably the worst first day in Vegas anybody's ever had.
No way. I guarantee you there's way worse days.
I tell you, the worst thing that happened to me in my first day in Vegas, we got there in the evening. So like we just did a little bit of stuff, whatever. But our first full day, we went to Fremont Street. We stayed at the Monte Carlo, which is now the Park, I believe. And so we had to take the bus to Fremont Street, and we got all the way up there. And then we found this awesome street artist. He was doing this, these paintings, and he did one of, Nightmare Before Christmas, which is one of Abby's favorite movies. So she's just like rage stabbing with that ketchup.
I know.
Like what is happening?
Well, my screen's a little bit chunkier, so you're right. Every time it shows her, she's just making a face. She's giving her.
I know. And but anyways, yeah. So I found this gigantic painting that I wanted, but then I had it and I couldn't put it anywhere. And we were gonna do the what's it called? The zip line on Fremont a little later in the day. So I was like, what are we going to do with this? I'm like, we have to go back to the hotel. So we had to take the bus all the way back to our hotel, just drop the thing off, and then take the bus all the way back to Fremont to do the rest of what we had planned to do that day. That was the worst thing that happened to me all day. So, I mean, we did all right.
She's got some complex, man, where she thinks everybody wants to bang her.
Yeah.
She just says, are you hitting on me? She's like, no, I'm trying to be nice to you.
It's a byproduct of having that lip liner on. Like she's got that like dark outline on her lips. And she's like, oh, you can really see where my lips are. So you want to bone me. Elizabeth Berkley was only paid $100,000 to do this, to be the star of this like big budget movie.
Really? That's it?
She got paid nothing. And then when they were doing the VIP edition, so like the box set of this movie in 2004, they wanted to interview her for like the making of documentary. And she said, I'll do it, but I want to be paid $2,500 to do it. And they're like, nah, forget it. And they just completely excluded her from it because she asked for some money.
Because they ripped her right off.
After they didn't pay her the first time. But apparently,
so not only did she get completely ripped off for the movie, but then it ruined her career essentially.
Mm-hmm. And then apparently Pam Anderson, Angelina Jolie, Vanessa Marcil, Denise Richards, and Charlize Theron all auditioned for this role and didn't get it.
Well, because they probably saw what it did, the same dude writer, what it did for Sharon Stone.
Yeah.
Right. Which is funny that I still find it weird that this movie ruined her career. You think that somebody would have given her a chance. It's not her fault. The movie was goddamn terrible. Well, partly.
Actually, it's interesting that you say that, because there's a bit I've got to talk about in a moment. Actually, I'll just talk about it right now. I guess in 2015, they interviewed Paul Verhoeven about the movie, and he actually said that the film ruined her career, and he apologized to her for it.
No shit.
Because he's like, it's my fault. Here's the quote. Showgirls certainly ruined the career of Elizabeth Berkley in a major way. It made life more difficult, but not to the degree it did, or it made my life more difficult, but not to the degree it did Elizabeth's. Hollywood turned their backs on her. If somebody has to be blamed, it should be me, because I thought that it was interesting to portray somebody like that. I hope the end of the movie would have explained why she acted that way and then it goes beyond and he starts to say what happens in the movie and shit like that. But basically he's saying I made her act the way she's acting. And she lost her career over it.
That is I've always really, obviously because I love his movies.
Yeah.
But I've always liked the stories I heard of Paul Verhoeven. Do you have the one I was waiting if you were going to tell it about on set in this movie?
No, I don't.
Where it was apparently it's a true story, where I think it was this movie where Elizabeth, or maybe it was either this movie or Basic Instinct.
I think it was Basic Instinct.
Right, where Sharon Stone was like, I'm naked, all these dudes are in the room, and blah, blah, blah. She's like, if anybody is going to see me naked, they have to be naked too. And Paul Verhoeven was just drops his pants, and he's just let's film this scene.
Mm-hmm. And
it's like right on.
I got nothing but respect for him as far as that stuff's concerned. Although he was probably waiting for an excuse for that to happen.
Oh, exactly.
And while she definitely didn't have like a shining career after this, she did do other things. She was in First Wives Club. She did Any Given Sunday, but she played a hooker in that. She was in Curse of the Jade Scorpion. She was in The L Word. Did an episode of CSI Miami. She was in the Donnie Darko sequel, S. Darko. There's some Gina Gershon there, and her hair is up in a wonderful bun right now.
So when you went to Vegas, were the shows like this, like topless and everything?
Some were. I actually, my wife and I, our favorite show, and I was really surprised to say this of my wife.
Was it like the Cirque de Nude?
It was called Zumanity, and it like to us, even though the other ones are much grander and like huge for production value and stuff like that, we liked that one the best because it was in this intimate little theater, and they did this cool ass shit. And there was nudity going on. There was the one spot, there were two girls in like, it looked like a large like sherry glass or something like that, and they were like swimming around in it and like flipping around each other and all that kind of stuff. And then there was one called Zombie Burlesque, which I didn't see what I wanted to see. I felt like I could only talk my wife into one nudie show for the week. We saw a lot of shows though. We saw, what did we see? So we saw Love from Cirque du Soleil. We saw Zumanity.
Was that all Beatles tunes?
Yeah, that's right. Which was not as good as I thought it would have been. It was, who else was there? We saw Caw on our very last day. Caw, which is like their big one.
Is it all about like crows?
No, it's not. It is beautiful Kyle MacLachlan.
Oh, there he is.
Look at the hair he has. My wife had this hair.
Watch it, bro. You watch.
I know.
Watch it. Well, he is a very handsome gentleman, that is for sure.
Yeah. And then what other shows? We saw the show Sex Tips for a Straight Girl from a Gay Man, which it was like one of the guys from what was it? Queer Eye was the gay man, and then one of the girls who was like it was Kendra Wilkinson.
Oh, no way!
Was the girl in it, and it was interesting. It wasn't that good a show, but whatever.
She was one of Hef's.
Yeah, one of
wives,
the three,
right?
One of the three girls there.
The three chicks he had at the same time.
Yeah, and then then we saw Piff the Magic Dragon, who was actually really good as well.
You know what? Because when you said that you weren't so, pleased with the Love one, it's because when you go into a Cirque show, I think there's a certain amount of hype that you put on yourself.
I agree.
Because of the show. So if you go in there and it's not something that blows you away, you're just like, I'm disappointed.
Well, I think it was that, and I think it's the fact, like, it was like, I love this, I love the Beatles, how could it go wrong? And actually, the way it went wrong is it was just too much stuff happening all at once. You couldn't focus on any one thing.
Right.
So you were never catching anything, really. I remember, like, by the intermission, I was just kind of like, what has been happening? And I don't know if a little bit of that is owed to just being like, we were tired. It was like day 4. You get to that like middle of the vacation hump where you've been going nonstop, and you're just kind of a little worn down. So I didn't know if
that's you. You go nonstop. I take breaks, man. Forget that.
That's true. That is true. It's just
I'm a napper.
Yeah. Well, that's my thing. Like, I'll talk to people and they're like, "Oh man, I want to go to this like all-inclusive place and just lay on the beach." And I'm like, I'm not going to pay thousands of dollars to lay down. I can lay down at home.
Yeah, exactly. I can go to the beach here, and it has a song named after it. Okay, from Rush, Lakeside Park.
That's right. And and at Lakeside Park now, Neil Peart has a gazebo name after him.
I wonder, like I've said this before, but I wonder if the guys were just pissed. Like, Buddy's like, man, now what am I going to name me after? Like the bowling alley?
Probably. What always blows me away is there was an old documentary about Rush, and it shows like an early show of them where they play Laura Secord High School. And
hell yeah.
And Laura Secord High School, I mean, I can't show you from here, but if I look out my window, I can see the school.
Oh, yes, you can.
So it's very close by. It's the school my sister went to. I think Our Lady Peace played there when she was there.
They had that killer Audrey too. Remember we looked in? Oh no, that was Laura Secord.
Yes.
That was like the coolest Audrey too, and I didn't find out until years later that you told me when we watched Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
That you would rent. Like you would be like, yo, we want to make this play.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, if you're making this play, you got to rent the Audrey too, you know, like the real deal.
I know, and it bummed me out because I swore you were there with us at that play.
I didn't go see it, no.
Yeah, no, because it was, I think it was like Collegiate or somebody did it. And they had all the different ones. And I remember talking to one of the teachers or something, and they're like, yeah, you've got to rent when you license the game. Or when you license the play, you've got to like rent the puppets from them and stuff like that. Look at Glenn Plummer dance his ass off. These guys are owning this.
I know, because like for me, it's very choppy. Oh my God, it looked like, see right there, it looked like he was just punching her.
Yeah, he did several times.
Did you notice before when she was, I love how it just all works out for this lady. Where she's like, I want to go to be like a dancer. Well, I don't know if she really knows what she, I guess, wants to be, but she wants to go to Vegas to be something.
Yes.
And then she introduced to this girl who actually is going to put her up, and then it goes to the show, and you could see her when she was in the audience, she's like mimicking the moves.
Yeah.
She was like learning because she's like, whew, she's got it. Oh, now they're fighting over her.
Well, no, because she kneed him in the nuts, and then he ran into the guy, and then all this started. She's like evil.
Oh, she is totally.
Like that should be her whole thing.
And they're like, they're fighting over me.
She should be like the Forrest Gump of Vice. Like she's just getting people in fights and getting like hookers. Like
she does seem like she's bad news.
Yeah, her name's Nomi. It can't be great. What else did we want to talk about? So I talked. Oh, Jenny McCarthy also auditioned for the lead in this, and apparently she was actually like in the running for a long time. Then they found out that she couldn't dance. So like basically,
no way.
That's the whole movie. So
that was it right there. No, that's not the whole movie, but I mean, like, what the hell?
No, but I mean, like, as far as like what her character is capable, like there's a billion women with like a good body. Or whatever, so you need somebody who can do the one thing that she's supposed to
do the moves. Yeah.
Paul Verhoeven apparently, because they didn't want this movie to come out, or they didn't want to make this movie, so he deferred 70% of his $6 million fee.
Oh my God, so Verhoeven got $6 million.
No, Verhoeven got 30% of $6 million because he to get them to agree to do it, he basically foregone his entire.
So wait a second. So he got like $2 million.
Thereabouts, yeah. And he would only get the rest of his money back if the movie turned a profit, which it did not.
Well, that's crazy. I would have hooked up Elizabeth with a little bit at the end there, like, holy Lord.
I know.
Right after he says, like, I'm the one who ruined her career. But that's very nice of him, because, you know what, when I watched the making of, the girls are getting ready there. Oh, this girl, I like this girl.
I forgot about this woman.
Oh, my God, I like this girl a lot. So did I. She reminds me of, she'd be like Ursula.
Yes.
Or she looks like the kind of girl that I think like the same role was in like The Biggest Little Whorehouse in Texas, where she's like the wrangler. She's like the comedy relief of like the, like, oh my God, there he is.
Robert Davi is here.
Oh my Lord.
And I've told this story before, but he makes a perfect creepo for a reason.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah.
Who's that?
I was looking him up. I don't know. I was looking him up though. Yeah, she does look familiar. She also looks like she might be a robot or like a real doll.
No, one of those love dolls.
Yes. That's
You ever looked up those things? Holy shit!
Yeah, they're terrifying. There's
Oh
apparently
my God, like I couldn't believe it.
I don't think. Oh, I think I did the coming attractions by myself when you were you were away or something like that. But I remember talking about the Real Doll brothel in Toronto. I do love that dress. It's very funny. It feels like it should be something out of like Total Recall, which makes perfect sense, seeing as it's Paul Verhoeven, right?
Yes, it does. This is the kind of thing like, you know, the random times. The only time I've ever been to a strip club is when I'm on a boat.
Yes.
And that's like what you do. You go into town. There's nothing else. You know, if there's a strip club, you go to the strip club. And the only thing I ever really want to see is somebody really give her.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean?
Like really put in the effort.
Go up the pole, like do moves, like have a thing. Like, you know, a lot of them, they just come out and they're just like there's like a needle hanging out of their arm. They like rub their arm along the pole and then hold back a vomit and then stumble off the stage. You know what I mean? I'm like, come on.
For sure. And my only experience at the strip club was just gross. I went to the one local to here, and I was meeting people there, and it was a guy.
Which one, Bunting?
Yeah. And which is now like a yoga studio, which grosses
me out.
No,
it's like a Tai Chi studio.
Oh, that's it. I was like, that grosses me out for some reason. I feel like
and it still reeks probably. So like you're in there doing, that's what helps the monks. It's like to be amongst the musk of, I know we're keeping it nice.
Keep it a PG.
To be amongst the musk. Yes. Of this lady funk, you have to, you know, really go into your mind's eye even more.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And it was just, anyways, so I go to this, this club. I'm sorry. It's just me thinking back on it every time is just freaking gross. But I went back and I got there first. So my very first time in a strip club, I'm like, I think I was 20, and I was sitting there by myself, big pile of anxiety that I am just in general. And I'm sitting by myself and I've ordered a Sprite that costs like $7, and I'm sitting there and I'm sipping the Sprite and I'm waiting for my friends to arrive. It was like my friend and his girlfriend were coming.
Oh, that's the best when you go with the chick.
And so, that was why I thought, I was like, it'll be fun. It'll be kind of whatever. Right. And so I go and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. And the first girl that comes out, she's the most into it ever. She's not doing any dancing, but she's just doing a lot of like flirting with the guys and perverts row and that kind of thing. Right. And then what's it called? I get to...
Don't look at the screen when you're telling your story.
No, I'm trying to find like the fastest line between A and B here, and I can't, and I keep messing it up. And then the next girl comes out, and she literally just deadpan. I'm sure I've told this story before, but she just deadpan comes out, and she's naked as she comes out. She doesn't take off an inch of clothing. It's all gone. And she just walks around the pole. She holds the pole and like does a couple laps. She just walks around for the length of the song, and like people are hooting and hollering at her, but like nothing. Nothing's happening. She could be like, I picture that in her ears, you're just hearing like that kind of kind of thing.
Hypnotoad.
Right? Exactly. And then the song ends and she just walks off the stage. And then it was like, yeah, that was whoever. And then we're like, and
like the single clap. Right? I like the routine she's got going on here. So thankfully, for her, when she comes out at her new striptease job, you know, the lady and buddy that work at the big show are there to see her, right? It's like, hey, what do you know? I don't know. Did Kyle MacLachlan do this on purpose, or was it a coincidence?
I think it was a coincidence. They probably are constantly coming here looking for, like, you know, a next backup dancer or something like that.
Or just going there to check it out.
Yeah. But like the rest of the story, though, so after that girl left the stage, I'm sitting there and I'm like, really, like, where are my friends? Like, I've been here way too long by myself. Then I went So as I'm like sitting there, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to leave. I look and I see the girl comes out that was just dancing, and she's got a, what's it called, a trench coat on, and some old man is leading her away. And they walk out the front door, and I'm like, I'm out of here. Drink down. I walk out. I'm like, I'm so depressed now.
They're probably just going over smoke.
Nope, they were gone. And then I left the building, and as I come out, I see my friend in his car, and I can see him, and he's kind of like standing over the open door. And I go up there, and his girlfriend is throwing up. And I'm like, what is going on? And he's like, she decided to try E for the first time today, and it's not going well. He's like, he's like, I think we're going to go home, and like, she's going to like sleep this off or whatever. And I'm like, just as well, because I'm not going back in there under any circumstances. If you guys were as pumped as ever to be here, I would be leaving right now. And I have never even thought about stepping foot in another one again.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
It's like,
you gotta go like a creep. You can't go there like some old nervous Nelly like me, though, to be honest with you. Once you know, the first times I'd be going, holy God.
Yeah.
I was like, gee, you know, because it's weird, because it's like, it's not just women dancing. It's like sexuality on display. It's like sort of like if you're at a party and people are like trying to force you, like, I think this girl likes you, go talk, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
go talk to her. It's almost like people, like a whole group of people, like, get it up and bang this girl right now. You know what I mean? You're like, what the fuck? Like, it's just like a really, for dudes, you know, well, not so much like me anymore, as I've been tainted, ruined. But, you know, what a good, you know, you come in there, you're like, what the fuck is going on in here? It's just like really weird.
Yeah. It's the whole thing, like, and that's why, like, to me, I would rather go see something like a Zumanity. It was kind of like, it was we're all in on the joke, like not on the joke,
right?
But
exactly.
on the thing.
Unless it's like a show.
Yeah.
Like if you go and it's a show and everybody's like, woo, and it's awesome, right? But then, you know, it slowly turns into like a brothel.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's like a weird, you're like, oh man, I just saw that girl on stage and now she's over there giving that guy a lap dance in the corner. And you're just like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah. Yeah, it's not like you go to
let me tell you of the like one of the best ones that I have ever seen. Because like I said, I love a show. And this was in, I believe, Thunder Bay. And they had a headliner. And I guess she had been in Playboy one time or whatever. And she goes up and she just does her regular one set. Where, you know, first song, the shirt comes off. Second song, whatever. Third song, the bottoms come off. And then we go out for a cigarette. We come back in after a bunch of girls. And then the same girl is up there again. And there's like something on the stage, like on the stage itself, like a material, something like a thing. And I'm like, what is that? She gets up onto the stage. She picks up a bunch of sticks, like 8 of them, lights them on fire, puts them to the stage. The stage lights on fire around her like a ring of flames. Then she proceeds to dance in the middle while lighting all the sticks on fire and doing like tricks.
Really?
It was friggin' crazy. And then the next one she did, because I guess she had 3 sets. The next one she did was, I didn't even know that it was loud, like the flames, like in a closed place like that. I was like, man, this is awesome. And then the third one that she did, there was like a see-through, like half tub, like a little plastic thing you could pick up really easy and drop.
Yeah.
But it was like it was, you know what I mean? And so she pours paint all over herself and then proceeds to flip posters of herself over to the blank side. And she presses her body to the poster. And then when she turns the poster around, it's like a big smiling face. Like she painted her upper half and her lower half so that when she pressed, but then she got into the tub.
Yeah.
And proceeded to wash herself off. And then she starts to, like, dude, it was like a seal out of a cartoon. She was like sliding in the tub, like flipping this way and that way. But then she's standing on the tub and going butt first and flipping up onto a handstand. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That was a show.
Yeah, I could see, like, and that's the thing. That's the kind of thing I like. And even like Zumanity, they were doing all sorts of weird stuff where they got people from the audience and then they had them like simulate sex. And then the bed that they were on like went down into the floor, and then just this white jet shot up into the air.
Nice.
And it was just like, it was fun. They made it a comfortable thing for people to be around, which was interesting. Like, I just found it very interesting. And there was even one spot I legitimately thought that this isn't even a lap dance anymore, if we're being very honest.
She's trying to make her point.
Yeah. Like, angrily, though. Oh, she did make it, though.
$500. I thought we just saw her complete. Oh, yeah, we did, too.
Yeah.
I wonder if that really is Kyle MacLachlan. Like, they're really in. This is why you signed up for this. Like, way to go, buddy. His agent's like, Kyle, you need this movie.
Yeah. This was a damn fine lap dance and a damn fine cup of coffee. So while I said that this movie itself wasn't successful, it was also very successful. So it did not turn a profit. The movie cost $45 million to make, if you could believe that for 1 second. Think about that too. That's like $1995. So that's like almost $100 million movie today.
She only got paid $100,000.
$100,000. The movie opened number 2 against Seven, which beat it. It beat Tu Wong Fu, Dangerous Minds, Usual Suspects, Hackers, Babe, and Braveheart, which had all been out for a little bit. It went down to number 5 in week 2 when Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers came out. The Devil in a Blue Dress and The Big Green also came out that day. Went down to number 10 when Assassins, which we just did, and Dead Presidents and How to Make an American Quilt all came out.
Oh God, what a terrible week.
Yeah, but it's, that's just showing you where this went. So the movie made a total $20.3 million. So it didn't even make half its money back, but it is the highest grossing NC-17 movie of all time at this point, as of 2009.
Oh yeah, it was NC. I don't feel like this movie should have been NC-17.
Well, she was just spread-legged on top of dude. I don't. Yeah. She was.
I don't notice those things. I just noticed the artistry.
Yeah. There you go.
I was too busy staring at those curls.
Oh,
is that her real hair? No,
you know what? It looks like it's Charlize Theron's hair from The Devil's Advocate, and they just pulled it off and put it on her head. This was also the first NC-17 movie to be given wide distribution across, across the U.S. It got into over 1,300 theaters. 1,388 to be exact. I did have the number. But I think the reason they went with like the NC-17 version of this is because with things like Jade came out this same year, and they ended up doing like an R-rated version, and then they released an NC-17 rated version for like the DVD and shit. There's the Luxor. And then the what else too? Sliver.
I like what he just said to her. It's like, that's what you say to a girl. That's how you get her, right? Like, yeah. Anyways, current or continue.
Oh no. Anyways, yeah. So it was just like all these other movies that especially Joe Esterhas was involved in, they all like released NC-17 versions that did some good business in home video. And so they're like, oh, okay, well, let's just put this one right out in the theater and like make it a thing, make it thing that people can't miss. Lots of people missed it, but the movie made on home video more than $100 million. It's actually one of MGM's top 20 all-time bestsellers.
I know. See, there you go. This movie's no flop. You know what? That's because nobody would be caught dead going to the theater. It's like when you walked out of the porn section at like That's Entertainment, and like somebody you know is they were like, You know what I mean? I'll rent it at home.
Can I also just point out the fact that the meanest thing in the world that they ever could have done was make those porno boxes like the size of small cars?
I know, right?
It's like you need
like I've said before, it's the weirdest concept because like old VHS kids movies, same kind of style box.
Yep.
Porno, same style kind of box.
And it's just like, and it's nothing but like empty space. Like at least those Disney boxes were like nice, like safety cases.
Yeah, they were snug in there.
Oh, I've been inside this mall. It's inside.
Have you?
I think that's Caesar's Palace, if I'm not mistaken. It's either Caesar's Palace or the one right next to it.
Oh my God.
You know what that picture reminds me of? It's Andrew Carver there. It reminds me of Jim Carrey from Burt Wonderstone.
I thought it was the Highlander. The Highlander the musical topless.
That would be amazing.
You know, it's funny because like they you know, we've been talking about how apparently this movie had ruined Elizabeth Berkley's career, but Gina Gershon and Kyle MacLachlan are also in the movie, but they are pretty weathered at this point in time.
Yes.
Like they've you know, they've been in lots of movies, so one wrong movie is not gonna.
Yeah, that's exactly the thing too. Like Kyle MacLachlan has friggin' like Blue Velvet and what's it called? You know, his like all sorts of shit that was like, you know, off the charts.
Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks is the one I was thinking of that completely escaped me. I was trying to avoid having to admit that.
Ooh, never touch your arm there, bud.
That is off the charts. Bad idea. This guy looks like he's like a sleeker version of Arliss.
He's been following her around. I remember seeing this guy before.
Oh yeah. He's like the dude, the owner of the Double Deuce. He's like, I followed you all the way here because I heard you're the best. Wade Garrett's the best.
She's not happy. Oh, there you go. See, now no one knows where you're looking, buddy.
It's
always wear your sunglasses at the strip club.
Sunglasses in Vegas are just a good idea overall. But I tell you though, like there was no shortage too of just like bodies when you go to Vegas. Like literally that first night we were at Fremont, something we noticed, you're walking around just during the day and you see these big painted circles all up and down the length of the street. And you're like, what the hell are these? Like, and you don't really know anything about it. You're just like, oh, okay, well, whatever. Then like 7:00 rolled around and then they do that big thing where the overhead dome like is all lit up and they have like a little mini show, like almost like a fireworks show out of this like light roof. And when that's done, all of a sudden these street performers fill all the circles. And it's like,
cool.
And so it's like, oh, there's a juggler over there. There's a sword swallower over there. And there was these two girls in trench coats. I know trench coats are like a lot of my stories today, but, and none of these people are detectives. But
the trench coat mafia.
But then they both, like Carrie and I were sitting maybe 2 feet from them. And then they both take off their trench coats and they are completely topless, except completely painted. So they've just painted everything there, and it was just kind of like, and Carrie was like, bah.
Do they have somebody like either they're trained because like you're gonna get some drunk dude like grab her? She must have nunchucks or just like beat the shit out of the guy or something.
There's security in the general area and stuff like that. I'm sure that's a part of what they do. But really, I didn't see anybody mess around with anybody the whole time we were there. I mean, a lot of things happened. It was either heroin or a tiny bag of cocaine that I walked past, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I panicked.
Oh yeah,
I had like a panic attack.
There's such a straight edger who walks past a giant brick of cocaine and doesn't even fathom picking it up.
It was the fact that it was just the tiniest little bag. I was like,
oh, just a little baggie.
It was like, when
so pissed.
When you get it. I know, but when you get a shirt and it has like another button inside a little baggie, it was like that baggy with just a little bit. I'm like, that's not enough to be cocaine.
They actually took the trouble of like taking the button out and then put the coke in.
Yeah, right. Like it was just, it was that. And then we had Sexy Black Batman was there.
Ooh,
and he
yeah.
he wore like tight leather pants.
Okay, that's good. I was going to ask you, like, okay, there's all these naked girls, but there must be something for the ladies. Well,
yeah.
To be honest with you, I think most ladies would rather see a naked lady as well, but you got to have some dudes.
Well, they also had like Chippendales and Thunder from Down Under, and like there's plenty of options for them as well if you're having like a girls'
who do you think's more attractive, the Thunder from Down Under, or the Chippendales of America?
Thunder from Down Under.
Exactly, that's exactly what I was going to say too. Yep, absolutely.
Because it's that thing of like enjoying like amateur porn over whatever. Well, it's the exoticas of it too, but they just seem more real. Like the Chippendales are like Ken dolls. They're all like, this is what we look like, and I'm just like, eh. But like Thunder from Down Under, it's just like a gun. Like I feel like they just pulled those guys out of Australia. It's like, you look good, shake your dick at this lady.
Regular dudes, yeah. At the bus stop, they're like, who's got nothing to do for half an hour?
This is a weird job to have.
Great job.
It's it's probably the only reason to dance or like to move to Vegas. It's like, what's your dream? Oh, I'm going to be a pit boss. No, I'm going to basically just like flat out objectify women for the rest of my days.
That dude is the same guy that tried to teach Larry David the dance moves in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, is that real?
Yes, totally. I got to see him again. Right there, him.
Oh, the guy in the back, yes.
In the background.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's
like this. And Larry David's like, and Larry David just does the worst thing you've ever seen. And the guy's like, that's not the dance moves.
Yeah.
And Larry David's like, why can't he just do this? He's like, because they're not the fucking dance moves.
He's a brilliant comedic actor, actually.
He just like freaks.
God, it's like, it makes me, I don't know if it's just because I'm so much older than this woman is in this movie now, but I just feel like almost like fatherly protective of her.
I don't. I have the opposite fatherly feelings.
Yeah. You have creepy uncle-y feelings.
That's what I meant. Yeah. He's like, here. This guy's always got like frozen ice cubes in his pocket at all times.
I was gonna say, like, how perfect were those cubes? Where did he just
pull a thing of ice cubes out from?
Yeah, that guy has a perfect set of cubes. They were perfect. Did you see them? It's like,
oh, I just think you can't do this.
I've never.
No, that's the business, lady. Yeah. That's the biz. It must have been weird being on set like naked all the time. I mean, that's like so strange.
It does. Oh, absolutely. I mean,
she's just wandering around, like, because she's like, I'm sure, like in between scenes, he might have put something on, but maybe not at this point in time, right? Well,
and that's true too. But I imagine there's so much time between scenes that they're either going back to their trailer or at least getting a robe thrown on them.
But I mean, at this point, everybody's probably just walking around naked. Like, what the hell?
You know what I really love? I love what has become of Gina Gershon's career. She does all kinds of like the weirdest, funniest stuff. She was in a small stretch on Brooklyn Nine-Nine where she played like the most badass cop ever who you like find out is dirty. She was
she's a dirty cop.
You're going to be pissed at me for saying this, but she was in an episode of Community that was hilarious, but only for like a minute.
You can't see my eyes roll back into my head until they suck in and blood spews out.
Here's the problem. I can see your eyes. Oh, I do have it.
Oh, you can see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
I've been jerking. You ever said one thing?
I know. Well, it's, this is kind of what I was hoping for, but I
did not know that you could see.
This is why we do this. This is why we do this movie. I'm not looking at, like, you're just off to the side. I'm not looking at you. You're there. But she did this one episode of Community. It was the whole episode was some of the characters were playing, like when we used to play Nightmares, the VHS board game.
Oh my God, yes. They should bring that back, man. That game was awesome.
Well, they could do this online now. I was having this conversation with somebody else. You could like buy a thing. If you buy a thing and then it gives you a code and then you could access it online or on a tablet so you could play it like anywhere. But my thought was, or they were doing this. So they were playing a version of that. It was called Pile of Bullets. So it was like a Western version of it. And it had all the same confusing rules. Like he's like, when I yell draw, you say this, and like all that kind of whatever. And so it was just all this craziness. Somebody else who was in it was, Brie Larson was in that episode as well. But the person who was playing the guy in the video was Vince Gilligan, the creator of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. And at the very end of the episode, it shows Vince Gilligan. It's like a flashback. It says like 10 years earlier or something like that, or like whatever year it was. And he's like, okay, yep, thank you. I'll think about it. And he hangs up, and Gina Gershon is his wife. And she's like, what was it? He's like, oh yeah, they wanted me for that VHS board game. She's like, those things are the future. You have to call them back and say yes. It's like, I'm going to have to quit my job. And she's like, oh, who needs a job at Apple Computers? All they offer you is stock options for your, like, instead of real money. And like, it was just all this stuff. And then she's like, baby, we're going to be so big. It's going to be so huge. She's like, we should start trying cocaine. And like, it just drew out and drew out. It was so funny though. And she was in it for like a moment, but she just stole it.
I love how they just drove through so she could get like a quadruple burger.
Yeah.
And you know what? She's such a lady that she will use your finger to gag her.
Absolutely. Did you guys all notice that was a cassette in his hand?
I don't even know a cassette.
I actually, interestingly enough, there's a radio host who does a show here. It's called The Ongoing History of New Music. And he was talking about...
the only good thing on 102.1.
I know, which I don't even know if it's on there anymore. I think it's just a podcast in general. But he was talking about cassettes and how they were kind of making a comeback in prisons because CDs and stuff could be turned into weapons, and they wouldn't let you have like anything that could put like any MP3 players or anything like that.
Right.
So like a CD you could like slice up and turn into like, slicing weapons and that. So
what about the giant device that you have to put your tape in? I could bludgeon a man with that.
I agree, but I don't know what they're allowing people to have, because if it's just a Walkman, it's probably okay.
Panasonic Shockwave.
Yes. Oh, he's very much.
This guy just wanted to see some moves. He didn't ask for a full-on dance.
I know.
Although he did say, I would talk about his, to be honest with you, I wouldn't even be chasing this broad. She's just way too much trouble right off the bat.
Yeah.
I'm like, forget you, lady. Forget it.
Uh-huh.
She's a total bitch unless you're like, I'll bring you for a triple burger, and then you can use my finger to throw up.
Well, don't forget the first day they met was she kneed him in the testicles and then got him into a fist fight. It's a lot to deal with.
So you like somebody.
Yeah. This is a very different appearance for him than his appearance in Speed.
This is how I get out of most things as well.
Something that's interesting. So Glenn Plummer, he was in Funny Farm, Trespass, Menace to Society, Strange Days, Speed, and Speed 2. He's only one.
Oh, that's right.
He's only one of a couple of people. It's like, who is it? Joe Morton, him, and
because she'll know.
Yeah,
she'll know the moment.
Oh, absolutely. And then who else? So yeah, it was Sandra Bullock, him, and Joe Morton or whoever it was were the only guys who were in both Speed movies. Then he was in Saw 2. Then he was in ER. He was in the first season of Sons of Anarchy. Then he was in Showgirls 2. There was a sequel to this movie.
He was the showgirl.
That's what I'm thinking.
I know he's all pissed off now, but I'm telling you, buddy, you did pretty well there.
Yeah, you did okay.
I mean, like, you did pretty darn... And apparently she's so smart, she knows. She's like, I'll only let you bang me when you love me.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, how is one of those things proven?
What was that? She was just walking away all angry, and then she did this weird sprint that it reminds me of, what was it, Scary Movie. There's a scene where like Anna Faris has to like run away, and she runs away like a friggin' crazy person. I
like Anna Faris. She just quit that show she was on there.
Mom, yeah. Well, and it's going into its last season now, apparently. So I don't know if she was just, if like another opportunity had come up for her or something that like had she waited, she wouldn't have gotten, or I just don't know these things. Well, I don't know this one thing. She has a very popular podcast though called Unqualified.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. It's not as popular as ours.
I know. Come on. No, they all can't be. I mean, really, you know?
It's
some
like
of these little upstarts. I feel bad for them, you know?
It's like us. Then it's like Joe Rogan. Then like Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend and Office Ladies. And
I like the idea that Office Ladies.
They just won like the award for best podcast, actually.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they did. It's a good podcast.
Were we up?
We weren't up for it. Not this time. I don't know what happened.
Whatever.
I think it's probably my fault.
What else? Okay, but Buddy here,
he doesn't do that
Goonies.
once in this movie.
What was he in? Was he in anything else of Verhoeven's? Because Verhoeven likes to cast all the same people.
I don't recall. Here, I've got him up here somewhere. Do I? Maybe I don't.
He's not in Total Recall.
Oh, no. You know what's actually interesting? So he's upcoming in Goonies 2, but I found when I was looking him up, he's in two of those, like, he's in two movies that were like produced by like super duper like right wingers and stuff like that are essentially like Republican propaganda. There's one, and both of them star John Voight, so you really know that they mean it.
Awesome.
One is about Roe versus Wade. And it's like, you know, putting the abortionists out as the evil people. Mm-hmm. And then the other one, they called it a conspiracy and all this whatever stuff. And then there's another one about like the life of Ronald Reagan.
Also heavily in conspiracy.
Yeah. Well, it's very much like you see, like the cast. It's like I'm willing to bet Christy Swanson's also in it, and fucking Lorenzo Lamas and Scott Baio, you know, the usual. Kevin Sorbo.
Is she mad that he's got another girl there?
Of course. He doesn't understand the Vegas rule. If you're on your period, that's an open week.
That's like a break.
Yeah.
Thought we were on a break.
She's always wearing like the most makeup.
I also noticed that, yeah, she does have a heavy amount of eye makeup on.
Although I think she was just at a show, so that's fine. But here's another thing. As somebody who's been to Vegas, don't wear that leather coat ever. It's the hottest thing in the world.
Oh, it's the fake girl. Look, it's the robot.
Yeah, she does, though. Like, she has a little bit of, like, Carla Gugino and a little bit of, like, Joey Lauren Adams.
She looks like I want to say her name's like not like Zoe, or
she looks like
she
her name is
old,
Zoe.
like 90s movies.
I agree. Well, that was why I said Joey Lauren Adams.
Yeah, or something. Yeah, like, Joey, or that might exactly be the name actually. Mm-hmm. But this is a riveting film.
Is it? I honestly haven't watched most of it. I think basically what we're having here is a timed conversation. It's just like, this is how much time we have until our conversation is over and it's bedtime.
Oh, they're talking about the show. There he is. I wonder if if this was the reason they put him in, you know, as, you know, maybe like a little you know, like inside joke that he was the dancer instructor here, and then he's the dance instructor in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Maybe, but he's been in a lot of stuff, and I mean, he's well known for comedy. Like I'm gonna look him up because
he was in Seinfeld.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was definitely.
I can't remember who he was in Seinfeld, but he's definitely in Seinfeld.
Yeah, and which is probably more likely how he got the role for Curb, seeing as it's the same producer, right? Right.
I'm not agreeing to that.
No, I'm not kowtowing to your weird logic. Okay. I don't like usually researching shit in the middle, but you're just gonna have to keep things entertaining while I find this guy. Hunt.
Oh, I love these whole like this I love the whole backstage thing, when you see, like Black Swan, or, they're backstage doing their makeup, like the rodeo clown, or,
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of, I just love the aesthetic look of the lights with the mirror.
Oh, absolutely. I missed that. Like I saw an old picture a little while ago of us in like the dressing room for, I think it was 12 Angry People, which was our 12 Angry Men thing, because we're woke and we allowed women to be angry as well. But yeah, it was one of those ones. And I remember, because I was too shitty at doing any of that, I had somebody do, excuse me. I had somebody doing my makeup. And it was a picture of me, like, with my arms wrapped around her. I'm like, man, I acted like I had so much confidence in high school. I probably could have, like, done quite well for myself had I done something about it.
It's better to not do your makeup, because then some girl will come over and do it for you.
Well, and that was precisely what happened.
Oh, yeah. And every now and then they'll be like, oh, I got to sit in your lap to get to this part. You're like, oh, fuck yeah. This is why I'm in it, right? The perks.
I have to straddle your face for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay, so the actor in question, his name is, I just lost it again, it's Patrick Bristow, and literally the first two roles I came up with, well, he plays the bellhop. He was the bellhop in an episode of Webster. Then he's the bellboy in Delirious with John Candy. He's a hotel manager in Charlie Hoover, whatever that show is. He was the bellboy or the bellman in Step by Step. The great Patrick Duffy.
Talk about being friggin' typecast, eh?
I know, right? And then he was in Showgirls, so he was like in a lot of nothing. Then he was in Showgirls, and I'm trying to find. So he was the wig master in Seinfeld.
That's the wig master.
He was in Mad About You for 5 episodes. He was in Drew Carey episode for an episode. It was mostly a lot of one episode things. He was a stage manager in Friends, which I also remember him from.
What would you get for like one episode on a huge show?
You know what it is? I don't think, like, it's the money at the time that it's the big payoff, although it's probably still fairly decent. It's the money after, because I remember Lewis Black, I went and saw him live one time, and he was talking on stage. He had like a little like Q&A at the end of his show, and somebody asked him about being on The Big Bang Theory. And he was in 2 episodes, I think he said. And he said, to this day, there is no job that he makes more money off of than the repeats of those 2 episodes. He's like, because it airs everywhere all the time. He's like, that episode pretty much airs like every day somewhere in the world. And he's like, and I get paid for every single time it plays.
That's awesome. Like, well, I guess is that like automatically in their contracts or something, or do you have to work that out?
No, it's a residuals thing with the union, with the actors union.
That's wicked.
And then it's who was it? Yvette Nicole Brown explained it. I guess depending on your slot on the call sheet, you get like this kind of diminishing return. So slowly, like this year it's worth this much, and next year it's worth this much, until it like is worth like a penny. And she's like, she said she still regularly receives checks for like 10 cents for some roles and stuff that she did like 20 years ago.
A check.
It would be amazing.
Oh my God, get the monkeys running through here.
Yeah.
Get those naked monkeys out of here.
See, you know what's great? I almost wish that we weren't playing the closed captions on this. It would be so much funnier to me if we were just trying to figure out what happened.
Like, what the hell is going on?
Hey, that guy who just walked past, he was in like Rescue Me and stuff like that, but he hasn't so far had like a ton of shit. Actually, there he is. I was gonna say he's had hardly a line in this movie, but
that guy's in tons of stuff.
Yeah, he's really good in Rescue Me. Rescue Me was a much better show than I gave it credit for, but I stopped watching at a certain point, and I don't really know why. I don't know if maybe it was just getting crazy, or if I was just distracted.
Yeah, because you probably started watching Community.
It was right around that time. That makes sense. That lines up.
This guy's like, I quit. I can't put up with these broads anymore. He's like, see ya. Can't even tell which one's which, for God's sakes. Where's the black lady? Oh, there's one. Never mind.
Well, they removed the black lady for being too black, I think it was. That's a very weird thing. Like, how do you discuss that? Or she looked like Scarlett Johansson under that makeup there for a second. But like, so it was just a moment where that just a little rub from Kyle MacLachlan to Gina Gershon there. And it's like, is that something that they work out ahead of time, or is that something that like the director asked for? Either way, it's creepy as fuck.
What did you give her a little nipple twist there?
That's precisely what he did.
Some of you need a nipple twister, you need a fluffer, you need a nipple twister, you know?
Yeah.
A lot goes into these shows, man.
I'd have to look into it, but this looks like it's the exact same theater that they shot the Wayne Newton stuff in Vegas Vacation. It's that exact same kind of like floor plan and the dining area,
it probably is. It's Vegas, man.
Yeah.
Or probably not. It's probably just a theater.
Yeah, this is probably this is like every one of the old casinos has a theater like this. And this appears to be a Scientology based dance thing.
Oh, it's exactly the same set and everything.
That was just Xenu.
And then Xenu came down and he allowed nudity.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think Gina Gershon was doing. Like the volcano exploded and now she's Xenu and everybody else is a Thetan or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
I'm gonna turn this into something. and then at least half of the dancers on here are Tom Cruise's dream.
the males.
Yes. I wasn't going to get into it because he gets litigious. But
oh, he sure does.
South Park and Us.
Fucking right.
This is not the greatest dancing.
See, I should be at least showing a little ding-a-ling. I mean, come on.
You know what though? We've talked about this before when like Jason Goes to Hell. When we did that and stuff like that. I am all for the what's good for the goose is good for the gander. It's like if you're gonna have a bunch of naked women, have a bunch of naked dudes too.
Exactly. Just to stop the haters, you know.
Yeah, and that's not my bisexuality
we
poking through.
Everyone. What's your problem?
Yeah.
Did we miss someone?
Yeah, for sure. I was going to
say. We had the monkeys in there. We got everything.
Exactly. And they were mostly naked. They were bottomless at the very least. They were either playing with themselves or flinging their animals. Shit. It's crazy to me how busy these are. Like, it's like, oh God, I got to do a full, like how many like costume changes in this weird dance show. I wanted to see what this whole show was.
And seeing as like you're naked the whole time, it's apparently just wigs.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Like, what are you gonna put on, like a new pair of boobs? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, just change your wig and get back out there.
You need to look like Mimi Rogers for the second act.
That goes with Tom Cruise as well.
That's what I was saying. that's why I went there. My cat just scared the shit out of me. So all of a sudden, I just felt something like bang into my arm, and it was just my over-aggressive cat love.
Pussy lab. Oh, he just said it right there too.
There, see? Oh my God. That was the ultimate time. As much as I love a little pussy, right when my cat rubs up against me.
Oh, she's pissed off.
I do feel bad for her. Like, I don't think she's a good actress in general, but I feel like she deserved like at least like a career of like Lifetime movies or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's a great career, dude. That is it.
Oh, that is like, it's lucrative, man.
Like Casper Van Dien, like he's killing it.
Like they were saying, I think it would like Lifetime and Hallmark make like 100 movies a year.
Oh yeah, they make mad cash.
It's, you know, I broadcast like Hallmark Christmas movies year round at work. It's like they cannot make them fast enough.
They filmed them all in like the same little town too.
Yep.
Somewhere in Ontario.
Yeah, it's just, and it's the same one every time. They pick a blonde woman who's too liberal to be on Fox News, and then and then they just make her a busy businesswoman who only likes the business. And then she comes back and she's like, oh, this grubby guy who like I used to go to high school with, he's still in town. And then she learns what love is with him, and then she doesn't want to leave.
That's exactly it.
And then she gives up her career to help like work in his diner or bed and breakfast or whatever, like small business.
And now she knows what true love is.
Yep.
That's so true. That's exactly what those movies are. Is that Johnny Depp?
I was trying to come up with a good joke, but you crushed me. You just...
Holy Lord, look at him.
Ooh.
This is pre-Amber Heard.
I was going to say, before he could afford all the scarves, he didn't have that Pirates of the Caribbean money to spend on scarves yet.
Yeah, exactly. Or the islands.
Yes. You would have thought that would have made him more money. He owns all those islands. Pirates of the Caribbean could have shot on all of them. It would have been a good synergy thing for him.
I love this whole thing. Like, I'm totally with Gina. This girl's after you, girl.
I know. Gina,
can't you just be friends and wait your turn? Like, holy Lord.
Gina Gershon is the queen of that face. Like, nobody makes that face like her. It's like the little like smirk. It's like a little cocky, a little bitchy, a little.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the bitch smirk.
Look at that. Ooh, you know who she would have made a good. She would have made a good Carmen Sandiego back in her day.
Ooh, I agree. Actually,
she would have been amazing.
Oh, totally right with the hat down over one eye or whatever. Yeah, oh, yeah, that's a good call.
But now I'm casting a hot Latina in that role for obvious reasons.
Oh, look at this! Is their scene? This is like Pacino and De Niro.
It is.
They know they're arch enemies.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure the big confusing thing about Vegas is you can walk through a lot of like the hotels and just kind of keep going. And so I walked through. This might be the Venetian.
I love that they're all kind of together. Yeah. I like that when you said that you can get like a drink and then go into the next place and refill it.
Yeah. Oh, there's all sorts of stuff you can do. It was like, I'll never forget. That was it was our first night. We were on Fremont and it was Carrie's first experience. Again, I don't drink. So, I am really a lame person when it comes to like going to Vegas, aren't I? I was all about the fucking.
It depends, right? As long as you're having fun, what the hell, right?
I was afraid of the cocaine. My only, the naughtiest thing I could say I did there was I sought the guys out who were giving out the hooker cards. Because I like
those. Those are hilarious. So you came with like a whole stacked deck of like.
Yeah. Well, you see them everywhere too. They're on every street corner and they're like doing this weird little flick move. And if you make eye contact with them, it's in your hand. Like almost instantly.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just, so I would have stacks of them. And Carrie's like, why do you keep collecting them? And I thought it was funny. Just like collecting with my wife all these pictures of naked women for like hookers and stuff like that. But I also thought it was extra funny when the cleaning staff came in. There was just like a deck of cards of hookers next to the bed. It was like, I felt like it was a better shot of getting our sheets cleaned.
They're like, sheet cleaner.
They're like, yeah, we got to boil this room. This person is hooker crazy.
Oh my God, look at they're having this like you're a whore talk here. It would have been best. They're getting deep on this one here.
Mm-hmm. She's like, you're a whore. Maybe you're the whore.
We've had this conversation so many times.
Right before we started shooting today.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'll never be like you, a naked dancer. Oh, wait a minute. I'm exactly like you.
She would make a good Carmen Sandiego. Now that you said that, I was like, that's a good one.
Bam. It's a little too late now, but.
I know, like right on. It's never too late.
Yeah, exactly. We could de-age her or we can leave her as is. It'll be fun. Oh, yeah, Gina, what are you doing to me? And on top of all this, it's daytime and they're drinking. How naughty.
That's when they have to drink. They work in the night.
I like you have the two like Texas businessmen, but in the middle you just have a full-on cattle rustler. It's like they didn't have a bolo tie for the third guy.
No, he's like their uncouth friend, right? Yeah. They brought their bud right from the farm.
He's
not making as much as them. He's still rustling.
That's amazing. I tell you though, I really appreciated the ability to walk between all the hotels and stuff like that. Worst case scenario, if the hotels weren't owned by the same people, you'd have to like leave the hotel at the end and then like right away and just go right back in. Because I mean, like the days were like 100-degree days. There was one day, the day that we renewed our vows, actually, they had to cancel flights in Las Vegas airport because of the tires were melting to the tarmac.
Holy shit.
So, and that was the day we renewed our vows in front of the Welcome to Las Vegas sign. So I was wearing pants and like a suit jacket and the whole deal. Oh no, I didn't have a suit jacket. I just wore a dress shirt. But so that's how I was dressed, though, in long pants and stuff like that. And we walked to the Welcome to Las Vegas sign, which was like maybe a 40-minute walk.
Oh my God, I'd be dying.
Oh, I was so sweaty, and the sun was just beating down on us.
Talking about sweaty.
Not
These
great.
girls they're having like a I hate you / love you.
Yeah.
Like lesbian dance off.
Yeah. There's nothing I want to do more than go to friggin' Vegas with you, though. I want to go see Zombie Burlesque if it's still there. And I always want to
see me all morning. I'd stay up all night like I do now.
Well, I just
do something in the day, like go eat breakfast or something.
Well, I used to hear the best stories, and I'm sure they still exist in places, but like I used to hear the best stories of like the $3 breakfast buffets and stuff like that. And I'm like, count me in. But like,
was it any good?
Like they were worth $3. I don't know. I don't know if they were as good as the ones like I was eating at, but they were like for $3. You were not permitted to complain.
I guess I agree with you. If you go to a $3 breakfast buffet, there is no complaining.
Yeah. Excuse me, can I get this bacon a little crispier? And you get shot in the leg.
It just horks right on your plate.
Why are there children with a teddy bear at this weird place?
Why isn't it like, sign my teddy bear?
Exactly.
It's probably their kid. She's like, just go play with somebody's boobs already. I got stuff to do.
That's actually, I was looking around. Oh, there are. I was going to say, do they have this like little boy amongst all these topless women? And yeah, they do.
This is either going to make this boy just a serial murderer.
Yes.
Or like the world's greatest Lothario. There's like, or maybe both mixed together. Because like, there's no way this poor boy can hang out with all these undressed old ladies. Hey, is this even allowed nowadays? Like, who is that kid?
I don't know. I think it was. I think it was just what's his face, Verhoeven in disguise.
That was Verhoeven.
Everybody act natural around me. I'm a little boy.
That's actually still in my like I have an agent. I never get any work because my only role, I said I will only do one role. I'm a little boy in backstage of a strip club. And he's like, Todd, he's like, you're 40, you're like a man child.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't give a fuck. That's the only role I'll play. He's still looking.
Yeah.
We'll find it.
Yeah. You're on your deathbed and they're like, we found it. And you're like, oh, joy.
Roll me in.
Get me a lolly. It'll sell the image.
I don't like these outfits.
With the leather? No.
I don't know what the deal is with like that.
Because it's supposed to be like bondage, whatever, right?
I know. I don't dig it.
I don't like you see people try to get away with similar things like that. Are they they're doing this at a boat show?
A boat show.
I guess I get it.
Have you ever been to a boat show?
Yes. Not a boat show that had like yachts. Just regular boat, like speedboats.
Just like a dinghy show. It was just a dinghy show.
Mm-hmm. I guess this is the version, the Las Vegas version of any of these things. It's probably like going to E3 or anything like that.
Or like Comic-Con.
Yeah. Well, Comic-Con's in San Diego. They have respect for themselves.
Well, they do a like porn one.
Yes.
I don't know what the name of it is, but they do have one, and it's all the porn stars, and
they do actually. And it was God, who did it? I want to say it was probably Tosh who went to one of those things, and he was trying to create like new fetishes to make videos for. He's like, we gotta find some untapped wells here. And I think one of them was like Q-tipping. So he's making like porn stars like Q-tip themselves and stuff like that.
That sounds hot.
It was pretty hot.
Oh, there's Buddy again there in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Seen this guy multiple times.
I'm 90% sure he's a ghost. Like he's just somebody who, yeah, it's like he's like, you find out that he's her father who died. Yeah, it's like
freaking out. Why is she so mad?
Because that's the only thing she does in this movie.
Well, he's pissed. Well,
you'll never dance on a boat for money again. Now go back to your weird kabuki basement. Oh God, that haircut! I didn't like. It makes him look like a little boy.
That's what Gina Gershon likes.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess that's the whole conundrum in the whole thing, I guess, with being like a stripper or something like that in that industry. Because I remember like we were talking about that porn, convention.
Yes.
And the girls that would be there, it was just like all day long, the dudes being like, "Can I touch your boobs?"
Oh, it's freaking horrible.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, oh my God, man. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, this is just my job. It's not who I am 24/7.
Well, I follow a lot of people on Twitter and stuff like that who go to a lot of these things. Like, and I've spoken to like Felissa Rose from Sleepaway Camp and these people, and they go to these things and it's like they have to do the same thing over and over again. She's got like the famous look from Sleepaway Camp, that look.
Yeah.
And
so like make the face.
And so like that's literally like probably what she's doing all day long. And it's like there's a level of it that you're like, oh, you like to do it because you fans like it and it's cool and whatever. And then there's a version of like, I've been doing this all fucking day. It'd be like asking what's his face to do the Carlton, Alfonso Ribeiro. Hey, do the Carlton. Like, he lost his mind over that. Like, in 2000, people were still asking him to do it. He's like, no, I'm fucking done with that. Like, I did that as a job, and now that's no longer a thing. And
if I was standing in line and I'm watching, I'd be like, don't make the face. I just like your autograph in a picture.
And you know what? I always
feel
like
to
that.
Make the goddamn face.
I always feel like that too. I'm like, I don't want to be like some kind of weird burden to you. It was like, just because I'm handing you money doesn't mean that like I own you for our length of time together or something like that. And then if you translate it, which is the point I was thinking about getting at anyways, was just the basic idea that like those poor porn actors, it's like, Felissa Rose does the face. So what do they get? You get the porn star to do what they're known for. Let my little boy come on your face.
Oh, here she goes.
Uh-huh. It's a very shiny.
It looks like a high school. Where is she? What is this, like naked high school? It's all a bunch of backpacks. Like, what the fuck? Like,
I feel like that's not the way anybody shaves their legs.
You don't know.
I just like big.
Not down, idiot.
Yeah. Well, no, but I'm just of the mind that you probably don't get dressed for your show before you do that. I don't know.
You don't know
how did she get her like the stage manager job? Oh, that person got flat out fingered.
What happened? Oh, one of the dancers grabbed her bum.
Yeah. See, this is the thing.
He doesn't mean it because he's gay.
Yeah, this is something.
You don't mean it. You're gay.
This is something that I learned about male dancers from Madonna's documentary, the Truth or Dare documentary. Is that like male dancers, the gay male dancers, are the worst people in the world. They are. There was, I remember a very specific scene because one of her male dancers was straight, and like the guys were just harassing him nonstop, and she had to like take him aside, and like he was crying. They were being so friggin' horrible to him and stuff, and I'm just like, I almost was waiting for her to go, you see, this is what it's like for a woman every fucking minute of every fucking day.
Exactly, right?
Enjoy it. But no, she was actually quite empathetic and stuff like that. Uh-oh.
What? Oh, shit.
Did you just drop marbles or something like that?
Uh-oh, somebody's trying to fuck somebody up.
Which is brilliant. I'm really on board for this. I want to see what happens.
The marbles. I told you it's pretty chunky on my end.
I know. This is
It's dangerous.
I know. Hopefully, the next time we record a movie, oh no!
Who threw the marbles?
That was I don't know. If only there were some hungry hippos around there, we would have avoided this completely.
Oh my god, they're falling everywhere.
Oh, she was like, I was trying to figure out how she was being like risen up. It looked like somebody was lifting her at first, but then she just kept going, and I'm like, what's happening?
Well, they find out later that there was. Looks like she's crying.
It
marbles,
looked like
for God's sake.
well, she smashed up her knee, but I thought it looked like she landed on her back originally.
Well, you can still mess your knee up falling like that.
Yeah, I guess I messed up my knee.
Poor Annie. Looks like they're going to be somebody having to take that spot. Oh, look, he found it.
He's like the
marbles all over the place.
He's like the detective. He's a stage manager / like
you're also
show police. He's like, we've got evidence
what
here.
The fuck?
He's like, I'm going to get this down to the lab right away.
Oh, no. 3 months out, you're done, girl. It's over. Might as well go back home to Kansas.
Well, and that's the other part of it, too, is like the age limit of like, or the lifespan of the dancer. Right? It's like, oh, I'm in my late 20s. Like, I better turn out some real success soon. Otherwise, we're screwed. Yeah. It's like if I haven't like starred like in a dance review by the time I'm 26 years old, then I'm officially a porn actress.
Well, yeah, I'm telling you. Well, you there's only like a certain age that's going to be able to keep that body up, for Christ's sakes, right? That's what pays. That's what pays the bills.
She's the. Is it just me, or is she the only likable character in this movie?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They're all just a bunch of like, well, it's the industry. That's what this movie's supposed to be about, I guess.
I was going to say, too, is it...
I could pick something out. It's probably like the evils of the biz, you know, what it does to you.
Yeah. Well, and some of it has to be that she just seems kind of motherly, but I think a part of it is just she's also the only real human being that shows up on screen during this entire movie.
Yes.
I like that all her dresses do this.
She would absolutely be like, if I was going out, you know, after the show, I'd go with her. Absolutely. You'd have a laugh. You'd have a great time.
Oh, my God, yeah.
You'd go out with any of the other girls. You'd just be like, I'm going to kill myself.
You know what?
I'm going to go into the bathroom right now.
Yeah.
You order dessert. I'm going to go to the bathroom and fucking hang myself.
Yeah. This is her I'm discovering my roots moment, if you haven't figured that out yet. She's like, hey, remember the old days last month at the strip club? That's what I got to get back to.
That's when she understood, you know? Now she's being polluted. And...
that woman, she seems to me like the thing that would happen to you the most if you hung out with her is you would be like, she would constantly be making you motorboat her in a non-sexual way. She would just always be grabbing you and just going like, blah, blah, blah.
I love a good non-sexual motorboat.
Yeah. Things just can be fun.
Things can be, you know, a non-sexual motorboat makes you feel like home, you know?
Exactly.
You know, like when that ant comes in and just, oh, there you are.
I was afraid that's where you were going, and it's where you did go, and I'm thrilled now. I couldn't be happier. These places.
Oh, here we go. He's got her now. He's like, I'm trading up from Gina Gershon to you.
Yes. Well, it's because she's in this movie. She's considered the old lady. It's like that big lady, and then Gina Gershon. It's like you're basically the same person to me. It's like he's already fashioning for her a dress that pops her boobs out as a joke. Because it's like, who would want to see her boobs?
It's like, it's okay. Okay, so like Gina Gershon becomes too old and gets phased out, but he's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, come on.
Well, it's because you have that time to become a silver fox. It's really a matter of how the man ages. If he ages gracefully, he can go forever. That's how like Hef. That's how it happened for Hef. He was in his 80s.
Because at like 90 something, he was sure aging great. Oh my God! If you have neon, palm trees next to your. If that falls in there, you're getting electrocuted. Like that is a dangerous pool.
I do also, because you were about to say the point that I was the biggest point, the neon palm trees next to the real palm trees.
Yeah. That's a danger. See, now that pool feels dangerous.
It does.
If if you get electrocuted and you're naked, they're going to find your naked body.
Do you get this scene? The dolphins are spitting on her just like society. Okay, I know we promised not to talk about body parts, but his butt is spectacular.
Of course. I mean, come on. You don't think that Kevin McLaughlin's going to ride into this
Kyle?
Unprepared for the butt shot?
Yeah. This is a very weird... That's just wasteful. But did you notice...
So she's only doing this to further her career.
I guess. Did we also notice, though, that the dolphins were spitting on her, much like society has?
Spit on the dolphins?
He must have dropped something.
She went to find his contact lens.
Yeah. That's still one of my favorite things of all time. Oh, my God. We were... Oh, that's not imagery if I've ever seen it. What, did he just swim away from that? He's like, that's enough of that now, sweetheart.
He's like, I'm done.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was quick the first time when she lap danced him too. What was I just gonna say? That kind of takes you out of everything.
Takes me in.
There you go. This has got a real Wild Things vibe to it.
Yes, it does.
Like the way her hair is.
I was going to think Gina Gershon was in it, but Gina Gershon was in the other one with Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah, the one that the Wachowskis wrote.
Yes.
And directed.
Bound,
yes. I always think it's Jade. Can I also point out that, like, whatever she thinks she's doing doesn't look like sex?
Oh, this is Vegas sex, bud.
Like, she's doing that thing. Like, what she's doing is creating a wave pool and nothing more.
Well, I heard it's not the best idea for women to have sex in a pool.
No, it's a very bad idea, actually.
Yeah.
If you ever watched, in the States, it was called Sex with Sue. Here, it was called Sunday Night Sex Show. She will tell you not to do it because
that's exactly where I remember it from.
It's called because it forces like water and air up there and causes all kinds of problems. So don't do it. Also, water is not as good a lubricant as natural lubricant.
Or even fake lubricant.
Yes. He's got a taxi coming to send. Oh, I thought he was like literally just getting rid of her right there. I'm like, oh, you dog.
No. He calls his penis the taxi.
Why? Because it's yellow and it's got white and black splotches all the way up the side. And I charge you way more to ride it than it deserves.
Yeah. It's $5 just to get in.
In.
Yeah, like once you sit into a cab, it's like $4.95, and you're like, holy Christ.
I thought I was gonna die in Vegas one, but like literally the first thing we did. Oh, hey, they have cocaine, rad.
Oh, that's the first time.
There you go. We're just
having a little road.
Just having a little dip into
this.
Get me
to work.
That's a different type of living where you just have cocaine out.
Yo, you know what? You know why she did that? She didn't do that because she's going to get the job. She did that to undermine Gina Gershon.
Oh, yeah.
That's why she did it.
It's
all like, check me out.
That is the shortest dress ever?
What's that?
I said that is the shortest dress ever?
No, it's not.
No. What's going on? Was she is she like on a weird drug? She was giggling when she walked in the door. It's like they have a weird like college dorm relationship where they're just always like, ha.
Did you stay up all night? I sure did, girl.
Yeah. Hey, what were you doing? Absolutely nothing. Just daybed fun.
Daybed fun.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? This is like my life.
God.
You know?
Yeah.
I dance all night. Wake up on a daybed with my girlfriend showing up, and she's like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "You been up all night?" She's like, "Yeah, girl." I'm like, "Mm-hmm."
I like that she just has potato chips. No brand, it just says potato chips.
Oh yeah, those are the cheap ones. They spend all their money on cocaine. Okay, they cannot afford to be choosy on the chips. They're like underground. They probably get snuck in because if they don't have like fried ice and donut holes for dinner to keep their figure going, they'll be beaten.
Did you just get the vibe watching those three girls dance like it was the Total Recall? Not the Total Recall, the Running Man dancers.
Yes.
It was just like...
That you said that actually, yep.
I was like, Sub-Zero.
Oh, wait till you see the real Sub-Zero.
Oh, I'm really, really looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently,
Buddy said that they're like, the fight scenes are amazing, apparently.
I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it.
I'm looking forward to seeing what Elizabeth Berkley does to gain her position.
I think
there's something to be said too, Gina, about, aging gracefully out. You cannot hold on to the spotlight forever. You have to understand that the new young pups are hungry and they're coming up,
Yeah. But this is to me, like, again, like a person's dream is their dream, whatever. But the idea that you would get into, like, that your dream would be to get into something where even if you were the most successful person in the world at it, you would be done doing it before you were 30.
Right.
Like, it's just like, oh, I'm going to be the greatest dancer there ever was. And then I hope I marry well. Like there's nothing.
Oh, here he is. He's like, fuck off, bitch.
Yeah.
Do I know you? She's like, yeah, we're married.
Oh, she's enjoying the dance. Kyle MacLachlan, I feel like he just only took roles that were just like, that made him seem creepy.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
shit. Here we go. Fisticuffs.
She's wearing like a Cleopatra Jones onesie.
Because she's ready to throw down.
Yeah. Yeah, a roundhouse kick is coming any minute.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. The big fight scene. See, if they were dudes, they would just fight it out and then it would be done.
Yep. And if I had it my way, it would be Eastern Promises. Naked
Oh,
steam.
Shit. Something just happened. Did she just yank her hair or something?
Yeah. I think she grabbed at it. It looked like she grabbed at her mole.
Ooh. She's like, you know what? She's like, it would throw me back to the top. 2 moles. And then she tried to rip it off of Elizabeth Berkley's face.
I was going to say, there's just a random, like, non sequitur scene where, like, somebody assaults Cindy Crawford and they steal her mole. And then you see 2 Gina Gershon moles. And then in the next scene, she's like, I'm back, baby.
They should be going to the old Morgan Freeman. He's got moles to spare. You want a mole girl? Woo!
You could literally just shake some moles off of him.
He's got like a mole dumpster in the back. You just go pick him up with a handful.
You just grab him by the face and you're like, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? And they're just raining down on him like American Beauty rose petals.
Would she just get like an anonymous tipster for a new strip club?
Oh, yeah.
She did it. Gina Gershon's like, you don't belong here, girl. You better go back to the strip club.
It's a large ass dressing room for...
It's a big ass ring.
Yeah. Again, I don't know what the show is that they're doing that would necessitate that, like, she's such a... Or that, like, dictates that she's such a bigger star than everybody else. Like, usually
she had people coming up, cowboys coming up.
Yeah,
she's probably on the billboard for the show.
Oh no, no doubt. Like,
star.
Like, I see how they're establishing that for the movie, but what it's weird to me is just that it's a thing at all. Because I feel like those types of shows are like an ensemble kind of thing. It's not like here's the soloist dancer who does all the big dancing. Everybody else, the remaining 65 people are merely background.
Yeah, they all look like they're pretty background at it. I never saw at all, other than her coming out of the Pearl.
Yeah.
Anything that she had done that would make her the lead as opposed to anybody else.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, it doesn't seem to be that, like, way. It's just she happens to be, it would be like if you were watching like a kid's tap dance routine and the one who was the teapot was just considered the star.
What a thing to, like, be worrying about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I know that this is her job and everything, but now she's like, I'm not the hot girl anymore, and I'm being phased out with this other girl who will show her boobies off now, and it's like, what a weird world. Like,
I think about that every day.
it
could be me.
You know what I mean? It's just like, what a strange, like, but man, they're making money, right? It's still the fame. It still counts as being in the biz.
Yeah. Just please promise me you won't replace me with a 38-year-old dipshit.
Oh, never. Never. 37.
Oh, he's a dancer now.
Oh, look.
Or was he?
No, this is the routine that he wrote for her.
This is starting to be the scene. Oh, totally. You're right, too. But this is starting now to be the scene in Karate Kid Part 3 after Daniel joined Cobra Kai and realizes that it's not the way to be and that he's like returning to Mr. Miyagi. To say, like,
did he?
Yeah. Oh, do you not remember that movie?
What the hell? He joined the Cobra Kai.
Basically what happens, so just to break down Karate Kid 3 for no reason during this podcast, he wants to do the next year's tournament. So like they're obviously back from Japan and all that drama's over. When he fought a man to the death as a teenager, so he finds out that the following year's tournament is coming up and that he has an automatic buy into the finals because he won the last year's tournament. And he's like, let's go do the tournament. Like, let's train and do the tournament. And Miyagi says no. And he's like, you already proved everything you needed to prove. That's not why you did this. And so he decides he wants to go on with it anyways. So he ends up meeting up with this guy who... I know I'm like leaving chunks out. It doesn't really matter.
It's fine.
But he meets up with this guy who you find out is a Cobra Kai instructor, and he explains, he's like, oh no, Kreese was just a bad apple. He's like, that's not what the Cobra Kai is all about. And he's like, we believe in discipline, but it's like blah blah blah. And he goes, and then as he's doing it, you find out he's like torturing him. He's like making him punch through boards, and he's like, his hands are bleeding and all this stuff. And then you find out that Kreese was like behind it the whole time. So it's like Kreese and this guy are like together and they're like, ha ha ha. And then they bring out like the guy who's the bad boy of karate, who's going to be the one who like beats him at the tournament and stuff. Like, it's really bad. And then he like becomes like really afraid. I don't know. I think we'll see more about that in Cobra Kai season 3 or 4, or whatever season we're on.
I should watch that show. It's supposed to be really good.
Watch it. It would be enjoyable for like the average person, but I think that for the for somebody who enjoyed the karate, at least the first 2 Karate Kid movies, like there's a lot to be had from it. It's just a lot of nostalgia and whatever. But like William Zabka like crushes in that movie or in that show. Really, really, really good. So I mean, it's definitely worth a look.
Uh-oh, she's being ousted.
Uh-oh.
See, now her lust for, she lost out on this big show, and now she can't strip at the other one.
I can't strip at anything anymore.
Yup, too bad, girl.
I'll be lucky to take my panties off at a garage poker game.
Oh, yo, you know, I don't know if I told you this, but this dude that I know, he ordered a pizza.
I love it.
Did I tell you this?
No, I love pizza though.
He lives like in the outskirts of Windsor.
Okay.
And he ordered a pizza, and I guess the local band that plays at all the bars.
Oh, you did tell me
this. Could go out.
Yeah.
They come with the pizza and play like 5-6 songs.
Yeah, you did tell me about that. That's awesome.
That's the coolest idea, man. Like,
that's fun. It's like
I know they get part of the tip. Do you have to tip them too? I'm like, do I have to tip you too? Because I just tipped the pizza driver. Like, this is getting a little pricey.
Exactly. This was a $12 pizza, and now I'm like $40 deep.
Yeah, like what the hell?
I don't like paying for it.
Maybe if it was like the Showgirls delivery pizza.
That would be a bit much. I never want nudity that close to my food.
Yo, like that, there's like a Quebec restaurant where they serve you topless, like breakfast.
Yeah, no thanks.
And no, I agree. I 1000% agree.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think sex and my breakfast should come together.
Yeah, and I don't want to have to look
I'm
at sunny
just
side up eggs and get confused.
Yeah, I'm just like, well, this is something that maybe I could do without. I'm like, when you think everybody's like, oh man, I go to that. I was like, no, I just rather go to the restaurant where the old lady serves me. And then maybe later in the day after I've, maybe then I could see some titties.
Yeah.
Maybe lunch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that whole it's 5 o'clock somewhere thing for drinking. It's like, I just woke up. Like, give me...
Every time I shoot heroin, just before I stick the needle in, I go, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 a.m. somewhere.
Jam it in. Yeah, exactly.
Now, I'm just confused. I don't even know who anybody is. It's taking me like moments to kind of like parse out who everybody is.
I can't tell. I think didn't they just fire her? Oh, maybe they fired her as the lead and made her the understudy.
Yeah, like...
Oh, fuck, they're fighting now. Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh, she's knocked her over.
Yeah, it's because she's back, baby. This needs to end in like a violent fight scene.
Oh no, they're like having like a dance off.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you get it done in the slave girl world. This is like, I feel like the audience should be all toads and salamanders from like Hell Comes to Frogton. This is what they would watch. This is, they'd be like, yeah.
Shut your hole. Oh, now they're gonna finish. It's gonna like drop kick her down. Oh, they're actually just going to be professional.
Here it is, right here.
Oh, there we go.
This is it. Watch. I missed it. Oh, right there. Kicks her down the stairs.
Now here's the question: was that a nude stunt person?
Whoa! I saw it looked like it was really her.
That's like my thing. What happened? Yeah, she knows.
Oh, look, she saw her.
Yeah.
Oh, she's ruthless.
And she had that face. She was making that face like, what? How dare you judge me for what?
Who's behind her? Who is behind her? Can you really act a serious scene with your boobs hanging out?
It's very difficult.
Oh, yeah. Her friend saw her kick her down the stairs.
Bam. Everybody's protecting each other.
Oh, that scene they should have had. I think it's the Cramps song, and it's literally Naked Lady Falling Down the Stairs. The song is called Naked Lady Falling Down the Stairs. That's exactly what it sounds like.
That's nice.
It should have been there.
Is that the only lyric? Because that would make me very happy.
I hope so.
It's just
like, what else is there to say?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm standing here, and now there's a naked lady falling down the stairs. But it's like she doesn't even stop. Like, she hits the corner, keeps rolling around down the next set.
Yeah.
Like, she's really going.
I want to see a version of this show instead of like the Slave Girl or something like that. I want them to be dressed all 60s, and when they take off like their pants and it's like they're wearing their G-string or whatever, those black wigs that they were just wearing are now their merkins that are like sticking out either side.
It looks like the lead singer of the Monkees is hanging around down there.
All these
What's
guys,
Mickey Dolenz.
Yeah,
what's his name?
Oh, that's hilarious. All of these guys look like guys who wanted to be in Casino and couldn't get in. And it was like they were good enough to maybe be in Cannonball Run 2, but not good enough to be in like Goodfellas.
In Casino. That's hilarious. It like totally would be too.
Yeah. He's like, hey, I say use wise guys. How was I not in that movie?
Nomi Malone.
It's not a great name. It sounds like it would be like Carl Malone's daughter's name. Maybe that's why she's so messed up. She wants to be famous. Like her dad.
Here
Carl.
It is, the scene from the preview.
I don't remember this very well. Actually, there's very few scenes that I remember very specifically. I remembered the lap dance scene. I remembered the period scene.
I remember the kick down the stairs. That I remember.
I didn't.
Because the movies, it's such a ridiculous, like,
Yeah, I didn't remember the kick down the stairs, but I clocked it immediately.
That's like the only thing that I remembered.
Yeah.
Is that kick down the stairs. Oh, look at her. She's the new queen. Ooh, wow.
Again, it's
Look
a
at the
terrible.
muscles.
Whoever did
Muscles.
this choreography is terrible. You should have got Glenn Plummer involved.
This movie's like ruining nudity for me. I don't even know what I like anymore. See, this is like when you go through a long haul, like when I was working at that dirty porn cinema, which is for real.
Yeah.
I was literally just paying women to put clothes on.
Yeah. The thing that bothers me the most about your stories there is that you and I weren't in no, it's that you and I weren't in direct communication at that time. Like, what I want is for you to have called me after every single shift and like told me everything. I was like,
showed you what happened.
I was like, take me through your entire day. The guy in the background. I mentioned this in another episode, but it looked like Alan Culver. Look at, with the blue vest and that. He looks like the limo driver from The Wedding Singer, Alan Culver.
Oh my God.
Or Adam.
Oh, is
Culver.
that his name? That guy's the man. He's in like every. Oh my God, she's now getting married to Buddy.
Yeah.
Oh no, this isn't their wedding.
Everything is great. Those eye jewels are the worst. I see those and I freak out. Like I could not imagine having eyelashes is already a bother enough for me.
I feel like it's a little tacky.
What, that he's dating the girl who?
Oh, you just asked her. Did you just ask her if she pushed her? Oh, he's like, whatever. Oh, Julie saw it.
I don't know how this is working, but I think you and I are in slightly different parts of the movie. Even though we're watching like a shared screen.
That's why, because I told you mine's a little chunky.
Yeah, yours is jumping around. Mine is doing it's weird. It's the way that the internet's sharing this.
I believe the internet. Oh, she saw her. Yeah, that's a little too jewelerific.
Yeah, but just around the eyes, man. It's like the only thing that would be worse than that would be like sticking one in my belly button, which is, as you know, a thing for me.
Nobody. Oh yeah, you love it.
Oh Jesus.
Nobody apparently cares that she kicked her down the stairs.
No, it's probably not like.
Lachlan's like, you kicked her down the stairs, didn't you?
Yeah, it's probably precisely how Gina got her job.
Well, exactly.
Like it's just the circle of life, right? It's like and in the end, they're like, "Oh, you did it." It makes me think about like the Phantom of the Opera, how like they had like the old diva, and then the young girl came and like replaced her and stuff like that. And it's like, "Oh, you're doing us a favor, thank you."
Oh, it's Julius Caesar.
Man, that didn't happen to me while I was there. I got to play.
Well, you weren't named like Miss Topless, whatever year.
I got to hold an Elvis's guitar. That was all right.
Elvis's real guitar?
No, like what? There was a. There was, when we were doing our wedding vows, there was an Elvis impersonator there, and he like thought up an idea for a photo because we were getting our photos done. Like this was right after we renewed our vows, and he said he should like have her and like he's like dipping her a little bit, like he's like seducing her, and then I'd like hold up the guitar like I was gonna honky tonk man him. And so I have a photo of that. I'll try and post some of these.
Like
up
I was gonna honky
Instagram.
tonk his ass.
Yeah,
you should have. That would show that motherfucker.
That would have been the best. He just happened
and
to
then you put his gear on and then make tons of money.
Yeah, it made the whole thing so much more interesting though, because we did our vows and it was nice, and there were people there and they all clapped for us, and because like the cool thing about Vegas, they have all kinds of weird shit going on there. And there was a guy, and there's a service where you could like get married anywhere. They're like, we'll come to your room and you just get married in your room, or we'll meet you anywhere you want to go. We'll go to any building, whatever. And we were like, would you do it out in front of the Welcome to Las Vegas sign? They're like, absolutely, we'll meet you there. And so we went there, and there just happened to be an Elvis impersonator there, like taking pictures with like people in front of the sign and stuff like that. And then the guy who was performing the wedding knew that Elvis. And then so he just kind of like jumped in and jumped in on a bunch of our pictures and stuff. It was awesome.
That's killer.
Mm-hmm.
I love this guy. Here's the Chris Angel showing up.
Yeah, he's so weird. I'm trying to like think about who that would be now. Like what weird like character actor? He'd like probably somebody from The Walking Dead.
Ooh.
Definitely a British guy.
Definitely a Brit.
Mm-hmm. Mind you, it's hard to not be a British guy if you're in the Walking Dead cast.
He reminded me of Buddy from the Painting in Ghostbusters 2.
Vigo.
It's probably him. Yeah, it's probably him. Absolutely.
That's brilliant. Who was also the boxer. Oh man, they fell in love fast. Who he was also the boxer in what's it called? Digstown that we watched. So was this whole movie just like a love story for these two?
I don't even know.
Wouldn't that be the best if it goes here, they walk away, and then the next scene is them sitting with their kids, and they go, and that's how we met.
Yeah, they're like telling the story to their children.
Who? Oh my God, those security dudes.
Oh my God, are they like his rape squad? Yeah, I guess I'm way behind. I see the words before it happens.
Yeah, that's happening to me too.
Oh yeah, because this is the way to do it. Like you could have had her.
Yeah.
Anyways, why bring your rape gang in to rape her?
Because I don't know, that's a little bit more exciting.
What the hell? Like
they're all somebody too. Like that guy. I don't recognize the guy on the right, the black guy. I'm pretty sure was he may have been an American Gladiator, but I'm pretty sure that he was also like one of the guys from the League of Shadows.
You think that guy's actually one of the American Gladiators?
He looked like he might have been
raper.
The guy in the middle. The guy in the middle is absolutely in stuff. I picture he was like an HBO shit.
I feel this scene very, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As you could say this with a lot of the scenes in this movie. Yeah. I feel like this rape scene is really unnecessary.
Yes.
Like, why did this guy have to turn out to be like a raper dude?
Mm-hmm.
Like she would have totally like had sex with him 12 minutes later.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like she didn't oh my God, like, and then she like stumbled. I do not remember this at all.
No, neither do I. And a lot of these movies have this kind of thing too. What was it? Was it Crossroads?
With Britney?
The Britney Spears one has a random like rape scene. Or not the rape scene, but like at least the one girl had been raped. Or whatever. It's just I feel bad. It's like we talked about like how they forced a white guy onto the all black cast of thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's like whenever it's a mostly female cast, they have to force a rape into it. It's like, well, if you're all women, somebody's got to come in and rape you. How else are men going to assert their dominance?
Right, exactly. I just thought that was so weird. Like, man, and like all those guys were just waiting in the one room. Like, it wasn't even just a party.
Yeah.
Like, we'll just rape her in the lobby. Like, nobody's coming in. Like, what the fuck? Like,
not a fan. That was like, my wife was deeply affected by it, but I thought the same of the scene in the Rob Zombie's Halloween, where they like some of the guards are randomly going to like rape the one girl. Like, what does this have to do with anything in Halloween? I was like, other than the fact that you're making
all his movies, he hasn't made one good movie.
Yeah.
All his movies are rip-offs of other movies, and he doesn't even do that right.
Well, and like his first 3 movies were all friggin' Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes, just absolutely take the same movie, make the same movie.
Yeah, and then, but at least like there were parts of the original, or of the Halloween that I liked. There was a lot of stuff I didn't like that rape scene and stuff, for example, but like they did some things pretty well. And then there was like force feeding his wife to us again was a problem, but then the second Halloween was just so garbage that you're like, yeah, it automatically makes me unlike everything I liked from the first one he did.
Oh, I didn't like it at all.
See, like I wasn't
like any of them. I was like, these movies suck.
Like to me, like I would have given the movie overall like a 5 or a 6, but like they just like there were just some spots where it was like, oh, okay, they made like Michael Myers is creepy and like it's good, like and Like he did
I
this part
hated
well,
that
but-
whole like it didn't even make sense. It's like, okay, we bring Michael Myers out into the yard, and then he just stands there while we surround him with like barking dogs.
Yeah.
It's like, why do you even bring him outside then if this is what his outside time is?
I know.
And it was like, what is happening here? Like, it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. He just, you know what I think though about Rob Zombie is I think that he thinks of the image and he works backwards. He's like,
you know what? I think that is a very good assessment.
Yeah. Because like I always like I see things in those movies and I'm like, I don't think he knew what to do with this shot. He just knew he wanted it in the movie.
Right.
So it's like how I
like
always
he thinks of the images first and then,
yeah.
writes the movie around them.
Yeah. I feel like he like makes little like when he's doing the storyboarding, like he's got those shots like just a single square of the storyboard and he's just got them taped up and he's looking at the rest of the storyboard and he's going through, he's like, and it goes here, and he just tapes it over a square.
Oh, she just spit in Kyle MacLachlan's
Hell
face.
yeah. Which is probably why he took the movie. It's like, a woman's going to spit in my face, I'm all in. It's showtime.
Oh, she's still going for it.
Why is she
She's gonna quit like mid. She's gonna quit mid show. Well, actually, she's gonna stop the show.
Yeah.
Give a rousing monologue about female rights, which will have a standing ovation, and then she'll be murdered in the parking lot, and somebody will take her spot.
Mm-hmm. How close up is she getting to people if like she's doing her nails so intricately?
Oh, well, this is just for tonight. She's not doing a show. She likes fucking with her nails.
I'm doing this for me very much. Hashtag yes, all women.
Exactly. Uh-oh, here she goes.
Uh-oh.
This is like her True Lies.
Yeah.
She's like sneaking into the big boss's office to start some shit.
Okay, I'm thinking I'm wrong about that one guy being an American Gladiator, but the other guy I know for sure is in tons of shit.
Look at the place on the. Oh, this is Raper Dude.
Yeah, and that was his squad.
She's gonna snapdragon his ass.
I hope so. I hope she girl with the dragon tattoos his ass. That was even worse.
I like it. Yeah. See, it must be like obviously for this creep dude, right? It's got to be like a power thing because this guy could have women anytime he wants to, right?
Yeah. Well, look
at
women
him. All over the damn place.
The long locks, the gold Trump apartment.
Oh, she's tricking him.
I feel like she's gonna take off her bra and there are gonna be guns.
Like, well, you're kind of right.
Those look fake. Those look like pasties.
On? What is happening here?
I don't know. They 100% look like pasties.
They look like pepperonis.
Well, yeah, they did that too, but.
Oh, she's a good undercover agent. Look at this, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? They're probably poison.
You've watched just enough Game of Thrones to pull that out, to come up with that.
Exactly. Oh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Where'd you pull that out of?
See? Back to her roots.
Nobody knows you're in there, man. Cut his testicle off.
Yeah.
The sinister one, the left one.
That's true. It's always true. It's the one that I sit on the most now that I'm an old man.
She's kicking the shit out of him.
She's like,
deserves more than that, girl.
This was like an audition to be Sonya Blade. All those spin kicks.
I only saw one.
I don't know,
but
maybe.
it was a pretty good spin kick. She would have made a good Sonya Blade, actually.
She wouldn't have been bad.
She kick like that. Nah, I think she's too tall.
I was going to say that would be her only thing is because I think they want Sonya to be smaller than the guys.
Yeah. How tall do you think she is? 5'9"?
I was going to say probably closer to 5'11".
5'11". Yeah, that's probably more. She's way taller than Screech.
Yes. Well, especially now. Rest in peace.
You think she ever did the Screecher back in the day?
Oh, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Okay, I'm actually trying to look up her height, And when I typed in Elizabeth Berkley, the first thing that came up was Elizabeth Berkley teeth. I'm not going down that rabbit hole.
Well, I think she has nice teeth.
Well, I thought so too. Well, it's
Problem.
1 point. She's the same height as Mario Lopez at 1.78 meters. Why are they giving this to me in
Oh,
metric?
God. What the hell? Where are we? Australia?
Yeah.
Fuck is this?
So now I'm having to ask in feet. She's 5'10".
Oh, pretty good. We were like split the diff.
There we go.
Oh, she just saw her friend before. Oh, there's a Pepsi placement. Pepsi fucking machine in the background there.
There we go. I knew I loved this movie.
Oh, who's coming in now? Kyle MacLachlan. Just... Oh, nope. She's going back in, or she's visiting somebody else at the same hospital? Gina Gershon. Yeah. She's like, I was just here. I'm sorry I kicked you downstairs. It totally is too.
Yeah. It's hilarious. It's like it's like she's basically running through her resume in this hospital. I'm sorry.
Oh, look, it's true. You're right. She's like, that's how I got my first job.
Ah.
Yep. Just like, I don't know what that movie was, but he's like, the son always kills the father.
Yeah.
What was that? Oh, so there's the game God of War.
Okay, yes.
Where he's like, hey, your dad killed his dad, and then he found out that his father, Kratos, killed his dad, and he's like, what the fuck? Like, the kid, right? He's like, holy shit. And then Elizabeth Berkley showed him his boobs.
It's all of this happened in that game?
Yep.
Nice.
Oh, they're having a moment here. See, the women are coming together here.
Yeah.
You don't let this male-dominated society ruin you, girl. Don't let these penises make our vaginas fight each other.
Exactly.
That's the man's game, man.
That's what I've always
said.
Pit
women against each other.
Oh.
Blah, blah, blah. Oh my God.
Like, did they even know what
friends again?
You know what this feels like? This feels like Paul Verhoeven forgot who was supposed to be with who in the movie. So anytime there were two people, anytime he was working on a scene long enough with two people, he's like, you two need to start kissing. Your love interests, right? And he's like, no, we're not. Like, not according to the script. He's like, I've been shooting you two in one scene for 2 days. Start kissing.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah. It's like the guy who runs the casino and the guy who's like the bag boy.
Mm-hmm.
Start kissing him, huh? What? Like what?
Bend her over or do something.
Oh my God, are they both gonna go on the run and run like oh, she took her hat, she's leaving.
Yeah.
Now she's going to Reno.
See, now that she has something that matches her fringe jacket more than ever, now nobody's picking her up.
Yeah. She matches too much. They think it's a scam.
I hope that when she opens the door, it's the tall man from Phantasm. It's this guy.
Boy. I mean, what? Oh, it's this dude.
Was this whole thing a dream?
Oh my God. I think it was.
That's amazing.
What'd you win? My self-worth.
Not worth it.
Oh my God. You know, it's funny that you say that about the tall man because like I just watched all of the Phantasms.
Nice.
On the greatest streaming app ever, Tubi.
Still, you still digging in on Tubi.
Oh my God, of course. Come on.
All day, every day.
Come on now.
I get it.
What?
Nice.
Oh, Jesus. Did you have to pull the knife again? Like, she gets it.
I feel like somehow she planned on getting picked up by this guy again.
Oh my God, she's cutting this guy's nut off.
Nomi Malone is goddess.
Oh, and she's leaving.
Uh-oh. Who will be the star now?
Gina Gershon.
Yeah, she's back.
No, maybe it will be her buddy who's in the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
But maybe she won't take it.
Yeah. Well,
280 clicks to Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
we
what
did it.
A film. What a movie.
Oh, so the white guy raper, who wasn't the bearded guy, he was in Thor. I'm trying to see what else he was in. He's in a lot of stuff. He was in Twin Peaks. It doesn't really matter. He's just in a lot of shit.
That movie was terrible.
I know. I was,
What
it was one of those ones
terrible
when it
film.
got suggested, I was like, this is not going to be great for us. But at the same time, it's like, well, you got to do it. It's like the whole idea of this show or this podcast is to kind of like relive our teen years and stuff like that. Okay, so the guy who was the black guy, he was definitely not an American Gladiator. I was wrong about that. Hopefully it wasn't due to racism. But
Those are questions that we'll have to ask ourselves for years to come.
he was in Barbed Wire. He played the disc jockey in Barbed Wire, for what that's worth. And he was in Starship Troopers.
Oh, no way.
And a movie called Jacked. His name's Teo. That's it.
Is
Teo.
Jacked about giant robots?
I don't know. I didn't actually look. I just saw the word
You just saw
Jacked
the
and then I
name.
moved on. Gino Rivera. So every name, like it's just like the name of every person looks like they belonged in this movie. Al Ruscio.
Did they, like, you know, see the script, like Gina Gershon and them, and be like, this script is garbage, but it's from the guy who did Basic Instinct, and this could be big, so we'll
It's
do it?
100%. It 100% has to be what it was.
Like, holy Lord.
Because it's like, okay, yeah, this script's probably whatever, but that'll probably get rewrites as it goes anyways, and it's going to be this like seductive kind of whatever, and it's going to give me this spotlight, and it's going to be this, and it's going to be that. Absolutely, that's what happened. I guess there was rumors that at the premiere, Kyle MacLachlan walked out of the movie.
No way.
And somebody asked him about it. He's like, no, I didn't walk out of the movie. He's like, I struggled through that entire 2 hours.
I like when they're just honest, right? There's like nothing.
I have this idea that he decided to, like, at one point, like, his mom came up to him and is like, you never take me to any of the premieres. And he's like, all right, fine. I'll take you to my next premiere. Oh my God. Carrie-Anne Inaba was one of the dancers. She's one of the judges on Dancing with the Stars.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go back through that.
That's crazy.
I wonder if she was topless.
I have no idea. But
Good eye.
But yeah, I just picture him. So he's like, yeah, whatever. I'll just take you to whatever the next premiere is. That's fine. And then finds out it's going to be this. And then he's like sitting next to his mom while like he's having an orgasm. It's like, what are you doing?
That's the whole movie. That's like it's like George Costanza's mom.
Yeah. You're not even married to her.
Are you taking advantage of this girl?
Yeah. Or even worse, like when she's like backwards on him and like when they're in the pool and she's just like crazy riding him. She's like, that's how your father and I made you. He just kills himself in
That's
the
why
theater.
you're so wishy-washy.
That's why your hair looks like a wave. Good God, guys.
Oh, Lord, Thunder and Jesus.
Under no circumstances did I think this movie was going to be 2 hours long.
I know. When you started clicking it and it said 2:12, I was like, oh, fuck.
Here we go. This has
It
been
was
a
like
few
seeing
times.
Super Mario Brothers being feature length. Like, oh my God, I was hoping it was 35 minutes long.
Yeah, I thought this was the Super Mario Brothers Super Show where we get 7 minutes of this and then 7 minutes of a cocky Link in a Legend of Zelda short. Hey, for you, princess, anything. Like, what a weird choice that was.
Yeah, they did really make him the opposite of what the character actually is.
Yeah, he's this like really this like silent hero, and he's like almost like a mixture of Legolas and the Man with No Name.
Yeah,
and
he's like a very humble,
yeah,
soft and like no speaking kind of a wonderful dude, you know?
Yeah. And then he comes into this one. He's like, yeah, not for nothing, princess, but I think I should get one of the pieces of the Triforce for this. Oh. Oh. Bada bing.
Yeah, he's always trying to see some greaser, trying to scheme all the time.
Lots of greasers in Hyrule.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's greasier than you think.
I'm really still like, there was the rumors that the Legend of Zelda movie was going to, or TV show or whatever was going to come on Netflix. And I'm like, I couldn't be more excited for them. Like, more than them doing this Lord of the Rings show on Amazon, I would rather them spend that money to do a proper Legend of Zelda. Give us Hyrule, give us like a good like person to be Link, and do something cool. I don't care what version you do, what story
I would
you
like
tell.
to just see like episodes of the show where nobody says anything.
Oh, absolutely. You could get
you know what? This I'm sorry to cut you off real quick.
No, it's fine.
What I wanted to say before was, anybody who's watching this show and you have Netflix, and you know, we're always talking about Pixar and this, you got to watch the Studio Ghibli.
Oh, Studio Ghibli, yeah.
Those movies are amazing.
Oh, yeah, they're really good.
Like, every single one of them is so okay. Anyways, I just had to say that because I forgot it from before.
Yeah. So get out there and watch those guys.
Like, I just watched Spirited Away, and it is, dude, have you seen these movies?
I haven't seen Spirited Away in like a number of years, but yes, I have seen it.
Man, I just watched it the other night, and I was like, what an absolutely terrific movie.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those ones I'm always a little, not put off, that's not the word, but I'm a little like weirded out just because the style is so different than I'm used to.
Right.
And like, that's not a bad thing. And it's definitely not a judgment on the things, because it's definitely artistic and whatever. But I find that like whenever I try to watch something like that, because like somebody will tell me, oh, you got to watch like Full Metal Alchemist, it's where it's at. And then I'm watching it and I'm just kind of like, and everything instantly, like just on its surface, feels so similar to everything else of its type. And I'm just kind of like, what? But it's when you get deep into it and you really pay attention that you see like the subtle and not so subtle differences. So go watch them, because they are worth it indeed.
They are totally.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, we made it. And
we did it.
And I mean, while we did mention boobs and things like that, we never mentioned anybody's specifically. We never honed in on any one person's stuff, except Kyle MacLachlan. But let's face it, the way he wasn't dressed, he had it coming. All right, guys, until next week. We're going to come back at you with another Coming Attractions episode, let you know what we're going to do. You get it. You know how this goes. Do we need to, do we need to hash this out? Do we need to fake this moment right now where you don't know what's coming and we don't know what's coming? We all know what's coming. You're going to be back here next week because you're fucking addicted to us. And we're going to be back here next week because that's the kind of needy assholes we are. All right, so until then, though, we love you. As always, find us at miscastcommentary.com. Email us podcast@miscastcommentary.com. Find us on Twitter at miscastpodcast. I'm at miscastjoe. Todd's at miscasttodd. Keep it on brand. Find us at miscastcommentary on Instagram. Join our Discord. Go find the link anywhere on the website and all that good stuff. Join that Discord and have some fun with us. Until then, I don't know. You have anything else to say?
I don't.
Well, there it is. Good night, folks.
This has been Miscast Commentary with your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray. Executive producer, Joe Finley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Visit www.miscastcommentary.com for all news related to the podcast. Miscast Commentary is a Miscast Media production.